For today's lecture, we're going to be talking about advocacy and partnership. Prior to listening to the lecture, please be sure to read the CDC Toolkit for Partnership Development, starting with the Partnership Development Guide, pages 1 through 5. You do not need to read the letter in the beginning nor the introduction. Just start with the Partner Development Guide. As you are listening to this lecture, please write down these questions and answer them appropriately. You can email your responses to me after you're finished watching the lecture. During the lecture, try to describe advocacy in your own terms. What are 2 questions specific to the reading that are beneficial to ask regarding partnerships? In your own terms, describe each of the types of partnerships. And question number 4. When thinking about your grant project, select one of the benefits and one of the costs from the reading on page 2 and explain how each may impact your grant project. The next type of partnership are cooperation partnerships. Again, these are not quite as formal. Cooperation partnerships typically have the same focus or the same goal, so they may be working to try to increase physical activity in a community or increase nutritional foods in school systems. They have the same goal and they may share some of the same resources, but each has their own work and they do it very separately. If we were to associate these different partnerships, a cooperation partnership would be similar to a high five. They're less structured, they have the same goal, they may share some resources, but overall they're working very independently from each other. Coordination partnerships are a little bit more structured. Typically, they have some specifics in the way that they work together. They may be a more formalized partnership. They may have some form of contract in helping each other with promotions or with community-based activities. They share some resources. They may even share personnel or the people who are employed by each of these partnerships. If we were to associate this type of partnership, a good way to think about it is such as a handshake. They're very formal, structured, they work together, but they're not as tight-knit as collaboration partnerships. The last type of partnership is a collaboration partnership. These are typically the most organized and structured partnerships. We're looking at several different groups of individuals who are focused on one very specific cause. In collaborative partnerships, there's typically some formalized writing, such as a contract or an agreement, in what the partners are responsible for. They have a shared long-term goal. They're working very closely together. They may share personnel, they may share resources, they may even share funding. So collaboration partnerships are very, very closely working together in very good communication with each other. Oftentimes, these are long-term partnerships as well. Once you have decided that you need a partnership, the first thing you need to do is to research any potential organizations that you may use as a partner. Look at their mission statement. Look at what their goals are. Look at what space they have available. The second thing to do is determine any available resources you think the program may be able to contribute. Do they have a building or space? Do they have personnel that could be potentially profitable to you and your organization? Do they have equipment that you may need? What can they provide you that will help you with your goals? Third is to develop a document that outlines your partnership. Are you looking for a networking partnership, a cooperative partnership, a collaborative partnership? Some document should be developed that outlines that partnership. For more formalized partnerships, you may want a contract, which may involve some legal representation or asking your legal department to look over that contract to assure everything is appropriate. Fourth is to prepare your elevator speech. An elevator speech is a quick 30 to minute and a half speech about what you plan on doing about your organization or your goals or your programs. If you only had one elevator ride with the potential organization, what would you say in that one elevator ride to tell them all the information, or as concisely as you can, all the information about your organization? Developing efficient elevator speeches take time. It takes a lot of practice to ensure that you're getting the most information you can in a short period of time. The fifth thing to do is to meet with your partner. Establish a meeting point and time. Make sure to act and dress professional. This was oftentimes the first time the partners are meeting. The sixth step is to take time to establish a relationship. During that meeting, make sure to ask about the person's background or about the organization's background. We're trying to establish a rapport, starting this new partnership on the right foot. After you've talked to the individual, give an overview of your program. Oftentimes, you're going to use that elevator speech. Number 8, explain your program's specific needs. So why do you need a partnership? What are you looking for? Number 9, ask the potential partner's organization. What are their mission statements? What are their goals? You may have researched these things, but asking them about it will ensure that what you've researched and what is happening in actuality in real life are two of the same things. Sometimes what people have on their website or information about the organization is very different than what the organization actually does. So be sure to ask and not just assume based on what is on their website. Learn about the culture of the potential partner. Does this potential partner have other partnerships? Do they prefer networking partnerships, cooperative partnerships, collaborative partnerships? Ask about what the partner needs. Ideal and effective partnerships work both ways. Each partner is receiving something and giving something, so that the partnership seems to be effective for both parties. Ask what resources the partner can contribute. You may have an idea on what resources you would like the partner to contribute, but asking them can help create a sense of similarity between what you would like from them and what they think they can give you. Step 13 is to clearly ask about what you need. Once your partner has said what they think they can contribute, talk about what you need. Make sure that both of these are on the same page and that both you and the potential partner understand what is expected from each other. Formalizing the partnership is important. In formalizing the partnership, we are defining the roles. Who is going to make the decisions? How will those decisions be made? Are there ground rules? Are there potential problems that will come up? Is there another partner that is going to be needed? When we're formalizing these partnerships, we need to decide if we need a contract, an agreement. Do we need legal teams to come in to help formalize these partnerships? Not all partnerships need formal agreements, but most of them do need some form of contract. Contracts are beneficial because they help to clearly define what is expected from both parties. As we're formalizing, two of the ways that we formalize are by using either a memorandum of understanding or a contract. A contract is a little bit more formal than an MOU, which is basically just saying this is what we are going to do, this is what we expect of you. To maintain and sustain partnerships, communication is the #1 most important thing. We want to communicate effectively between the two partnerships, understanding what each one is contributing. If there is something that is not working properly, we want to be able to communicate that with the partner. Develop a feedback plan. How will we decide if the partnership is being effective? We should evaluate. This may be done through outcome evaluations, through process evaluations, formative or pre-ordinate evaluations, but determine which way you plan on evaluating each other. Respect boundaries, especially processes. Certain partnerships may have specific processes that you should abide by or follow their rules. For example, Franklin College partners with Johnson Memorial Hospital. Johnson Memorial has very strict processes for students or outside individuals coming to their hospital to shadow or intern. We respect those processes by making sure that all students do follow the application process, the TB test, the flu shot, and making sure that that is done to protect that partnership. If we were to go around their rules, that would show that we don't care about their boundaries. So we are respecting their rules, their boundaries, and their processes. Make sure to express appreciation. Tell your partner what you appreciate, that you're grateful, that you're thankful for what they're doing for you and your group or your mission. Give credit, but make sure to ask permission. For example, we are partnering with High Performance in our internship program. High Performance has asked if they can put our logo on their website. We had to run that by our marketing department. They would like to give us credit, which is wonderful, but we need to make sure, or they asked permission, and then we had to further ask permission from marketing. Be sure to ask permission, or this can get you in legal trouble in the future. Be flexible. Perhaps the partnership is going to change over time, and that's okay, but make sure that both parties are still communicating effectively and understand exactly what type of partnership is going on between the two. We also want to evaluate satisfaction on both ends. Are we satisfied with the give and take between the two partnerships, or does one partner feel like they are giving or taking more than the other partner? Following these key steps will help to maintain and sustain very beneficial and effective partnerships. Advocacy. Advocacy is a unique term or a unique idea that we talk about a lot, but oftentimes we're not really sure what advocacy exactly means. Advocacy for health is a combination of individual and social actions designed to gain political commitment. So what does this exactly mean? In simple terms, advocacy is any action that speaks for others or for some health action. It can be organizing, it could be educating the public, or it could be educating legislators or potential policymakers. Advocacy can be about research. It can be about regulation. Advocacy could be encouraging people to vote or to get certain health examinations. Advocacy is about networking or sharing contact information. Advocacy can be about training or lobbying. So it's really any action that is for another or for some health action. When thinking about your grant project, is your project or how is your project advocating? Who or what is it advocating for? Thinking about this question will help to determine if you may or may not need a partner to work with. When thinking about your grant project, do you think a partner would be beneficial? If so, do you think a networking partner, a cooperative partner, a collaborative partner, or what type of partnership do you think would be best for your grant project? Please be sure to email your responses to this online lecture before class on Monday.